तू चलता चल तू चलता चल तू चलता चल.
Hello, boys and girls. Uh, Quite a few number of our students have been getting screened out. And not only for our students, for all those who follow our channel, this is a cause of worry. So today I intend to speak to you about getting screened out, analyzing what could be the probable reasons and what should be the remedial measures you should be taking to ensure that your chances of getting screened in are high. Nobody can guarantee, but you can always increase your chances. So let us start talking about this. We already have a video, a very comprehensive video about the screening process. You should follow it and try and remember it well and utilize it during your practice sessions of No Frills Academy and definitely when you go for SSB. My advice is that keep that video with you and an evening prior to your screening in, go through it deliberately, remember it well so that you can visualize that whatever contingencies arise when you are facing the screening process, you are able to apply those methods and get success. I have spoken about scarcity mentality and abundance mentality in that. Go through that. That is important to keep at the back of our minds because today Indian society is working from the scarcity mindset and there is a lot of pressure because employment opportunities are few and you find that the competition for few vacancies is very high and that's why the tendency to panic and think that you should get in at the expense of others and trying to outshine others. These kind of thoughts do come in our minds, and in any case these kind of thoughts remain in the environment at your home when you're discussing with your friend circle and all that. So it does exist. That's why I said Indian society is having this problem at the moment, so it cannot be wished away. However, you should work from the abundance mentality mindset, which is good for teamwork, good for organizations, and actually it helps you get screened in and it also helps you get selected. Anyway, let us now go one by one about the screening process. So in the screening process, the first thing which is going to take place is the reasoning test, which we call as the Officer's Intelligence Rating Test, or in short the OIR test. So in this, batteries are available on the internet. Even on our website we have got information about it. So information is fairly readily available. That's not such a big deal. These tests are not very difficult. There is a verbal portion and there is a non-verbal portion. Both have to be done. Two tests are there. Generally you will get two tests in two parts of 50 mark each. Sometimes it will vary. The number of questions may also vary, but generally what you would be doing is you will be getting 20 minutes each for both the tests, or sometimes maybe little lesser. At times the conducting personnel, they may say 20 minutes, but they may take it in 17-18 minutes also. Those things do happen when they see that the battery of tests is easy and quite a number of students apparently have finished the test. So these are practical things which happen, so you should be aware of that. So thinking fast, working fast is important. The score to be targeted should be 80% plus. I would not like people to go by the jargon of OIR rating 1, 2 and 3. Don't get into all that. That is relevant for the selection system. You should look for that. And in case you are getting a score of say around 60% or so, that means you need to practice. Identify the areas where you are weak, the kind of questions. Some people find difficulty in answering questions which relate to rotation of dice as to what the next figure is going to be, or whatever the issues you find problematic. So identify them, work on them. For a general rule, I would say in case your score is around 60%, I would advise that you should devote about 4 hours per week to improve this aspect till such time as you start getting a score of 80% plus. Once you do that, then you need not practice any further. You can thereafter focus on other things, and 2 days prior to going for your SSB, you can solve a couple of OIR tests just to see that you are okay with it, and your confidence is you get your confidence back. It's solid that you can now do it. Similarly, if you are getting a score of 70% or all that, then about 2 hours per week would be adequate till you reach this level. In case you are also required to write the AFCAT exam, it would be helpful in that exam also, because reasoning is a part of that test. So much for the OIR. So that's one thing. If you are getting a low score in that, that means you will get out. You will not be taken in despite the quality of your performance in the subsequent aspects. Then comes your picture perception and description test. So in this details you already know what all is there. So you are shown a hazy black and white picture, and this picture is hazy. It is deliberately so because it is part of the projective technique of testing that the stimulus is ambiguous, because only then we are able to understand the subconscious or the unconscious parts of the brain of an individual, the various motivations, things like that, which even the person is often not aware. So from his visualization, those things come out. So it's deliberately done so. We cannot afford to show color and absolutely crystal clear pictures, because then also what happens when we show such pictures, they are varied, they are interpreted in different manner by the aspirants naturally, because the stimulus is ambiguous. So it is by design. So what you should be doing is, you observe the picture deliberately without coming under any kind of time pressure. Understand it well. Frame the story in your mind around one main character, and thereafter write the story down in 2.5 to 3 minutes, so that you can narrate it inside 40 seconds in case you are in a repeaters batch, and well inside 1 minute in case you are in a freshers batch. So this is what you should do, and the story should be built around one main character who should play a proactive role in resolving whatever the issue you have identified the picture is trying to tell you. The outlook should be that don't try to go plant any preconceived stories, as a lot of coaching academy people do. Try and interpret what the story, the picture is trying to tell you. That should be your outlook. So in this manner, frame the story, write it, and sometimes they ask you to submit it, sometimes it is there with you available. Now you will get reasonable amount of time before you are made to sit in a group to discuss that story. So rehearse this story in your mind a few number of times so that it gets well embedded in your brain, so that you can narrate it quite easily without fumbling. Now, in case you are able to narrate your story well without fumbling, and your OIR is good, then 75% of the job of your screening in has already been done. Only the 25% part of discussion remains. Now most of the problems comes there. One important thing you should note is that in case you have done well in your OIR, you have written a sensible story around the picture and you have narrated it well, please do not become complacent that now 75% job I have done well, now I need not bother about the discussion part. Now that is something which you should not do. I have noticed that some of the students get into this kind of mindset. No, please don't do that. Keep playing the game ball by ball, that kind of approach. So whatever is coming, be active, be energetic, enthusiastic about the things. Now, today, what is happening in discussions, what I get feedback from students is that fish market situation tends to get created even in the freshers group because unemployment, problems of scarcity of jobs and all that are being felt by our society. So it is getting reflected. We can do nothing about that. That's not in your hands. So this, be mentally prepared for that. Now, what happens where I see people going wrong is that, let us say, people are shouting, they are not listening to you, you are not getting an opportunity to speak. Now, some of our students tend to panic and they also get into that out shouting business. So that is not going to work. It's a wrong thing to do. Then you are, it's like, it's a lottery ticket. Somebody may get screened in, but it would not be based on any real sensible performance displayed during the discussion stage. So the right thing to do in this fish market kind of situation where people are shouting and a chaotic scene is prevailing, you should remain calm and in a slightly raised voice state that, gentlemen, let us not shout, let us try to make a common story. Or in the case of girls' badge, say, ladies, let us not shout, let us try to make a common story. Now, these are very precise words which have a meaning. That is, you are counting yourself also part of the group which is creating chaos. You are not saying that, you're not pointing out others that they are not doing the correct thing and you want to correct them, because then they will not take it in a good spirit. When you include yourself in that, then the outlook changes psychologically. They feel that you are counting yourself also among the people who are creating chaos and not you are separated from others. Like I have noticed quite a few of our students, they use the words that, okay, ladies, let us speak one by, no, please speak one by one so that everyone gets a chance. Now, in this, the mindset which is apparent is that you are telling others कि मैं तो ठीक ठाक हूँ, आप ठीक नहीं कर रहे हो. ये माइंडसेट नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेंगे लोग. तो वहां भी अगर आप ऐसा वर्ड यूज करते हो तो आप ये बोलिए कि लेडीज, लेट अस स्पीक वन बाय वन so that all of us get a chance to speak, and then you don't start now. You allow someone else to speak and hope that sense prevails. Whereas the first statement I made is better. If you use that statement, it will be more effective. That, ladies, let us not shout, let us try to make a common story. Why these words are quite effective is proven by evidence. I have had at least 3-4 students who were in groups of plus of 20 or around 20 who just made this one single statement once, and that was good enough to get them screened in. So this is what you should do. And thereafter, I will not go on to adding as to how you should build the common story and guide the group towards making of the common story, because all those things are already covered in our previous video. So this is what I wanted to say. So now, yeah, one more important, that it may happen with quite a few of my students. It is happening that they have performed well in OIR. They have written a sensible story, narrated it fine, and in the discussion also they have performed quite okay. And I find no mistake. I am not able to say that this you could have done better or something like that. So in case this is true in your case, then it is very important to not look for mistakes to improve upon, because mistakes have not happened. And when you're trying to identify mistakes when none exist, then you are creating psychological problems for yourself, and you are increasing your diffidence. I mean, lowering your confidence, which is not going to be good for you. So do not allow that to happen. If you've done all things fine, just forget it as a bad incident, erase it from your mind, be confident that everything is okay with you. Get energized and start working from the next day onwards with the same spirit. Don't lose any time and energy brooding over a bad result, and hope for the next time with total enthusiasm. The reason is very simple, that you have control only over your thoughts and actions, and results are not in your control at all. What transpires there, what other girls, other boys do, what the assessors do is in their hands, what they're going to do. So focus on the things which are in your control. This is the essence of proactive behavior, and thereafter hope for the best. So this is what I wanted to say. Please remember these words, abide by this advice, and I'm sure your chances of getting screened in next time would be